What's good, guys? This is Clutch City Entertainment back with another video, and today we have some really important news coming out of the Houston Rockets camp concerning John Wall. And this isn't an official report by any means at all, but this is a combination of both information that was heard on the Woj podcast earlier today and also a concerning little tidbit from John Wall himself on social media. The first thing that we will address is John Wall on Instagram was caught, voting on a poll which was asking the question, will John Wall be in Houston next season, with the two answers of yes, he's staying, or no, he's leaving. And John Wall himself on his account voted no, he's gone. And that just started this whole little media speculation wave of like, is John Wall leaving? Is he going to stay in Houston? Or is this a symbol of him requesting a trade? We're not sure, but if what John Wall says has anything to do with it, he's probably done with Houston, which is a little bit hypocritical of him since, of course, after the James Harden trade, he was going on his speaking about people who didn't want to be here, and then now himself asking out of Houston in a way, or showing his discontent in playing in Houston kind of seemed a little bit hypocritical, and I understand how some people might feel that way, but at the end of the day, we don't know until it's official. But from what I've heard from the Woj podcast, Brian Windhorst from ESPN saying that the most likely option that's going to happen with John Wall in his future to Houston is probably going to be a buyout, which, if you think of it, doesn't seem that realistic because John Wall still has around $90 million left on his contract. And the likelihood of someone Fertitta buying out $90 million for John Wall is really unlikely unless you can get a lot of that back in return from John Wall if he really wants to leave Houston. And for those of you wondering about a potential trade of John Wall, it is possible, obviously, but in order to move John Wall, you'd almost certainly have to attach a couple of first-round picks, and I'm very confident that Rafael Stone would not want to do that, especially given that we are in a rebuilding state right now, and so the idea of trading John Wall just doesn't make sense. It's when you're given that you have to add probably a couple of first-round picks so that you can offload his contract, and so a buyout right now is seeming like the most likely option as far as John Wall leaving the Houston Rockets. It does seem like he is gone. The question, I think, comes down to whether it's going to happen in the offseason, whether it's going to happen mid-season next season, or if it's going to happen in the next offseason. It could happen at any of those times. I think it is pretty unlikely that the buyout happens this offseason because of so much money that is still on John Wall's contract. I think they have to wait a little bit before buying out the remainder of Wall's contract. But yeah, it does seem like the buyout is what's going to happen with John Wall. The trade just doesn't make sense because of all the first-round picks that you have to attach to offload his contract. You're probably not going to keep him around, especially if John Wall is sending this obvious of a sign that he doesn't think he's going to be here next season. And as far as a buyout, you're probably not going to see one anytime soon just because of how much money is still left on John Wall's contract. Now, another report, this isn't really related to John Wall, but in that same podcast with Adrian Wojnarowski and Brian Windhorst, the reporters also saying that the Rockets are not planning on trading Christian Wood. They are very, very certain that Christian Wood will not get traded. The reason why this is important is because there were a lot of reports coming around that maybe they might trade Christian Wood on draft night for a Golden State Warriors pick. If Minnesota's first-round pick goes to Golden State, they might trade James Wiseman and that first-round pick for Christian Wood. And that podcast reportedly, that's off the table. The Rockets aren't considering that. They're very high on Christian Wood, and they still think he can be one of their franchise guys. And so that trade is just not on their minds right now. They are very confident that Christian Wood will remain a Houston Rocket, and so that pretty much squashes those rumors. And yeah, that's just about it for this one. Again, let us know down in the comment section what you think is going to happen with John Wall. Do you think he's going to get traded? Do you think he's going to get bought out? And if so, when? And also, is there a chance that he still sticks around for the next season? Leave those down in the comments below and we will talk about it there. And as always, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. It helps the channel grow and it helps us to make more content for you. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.